Hello, I am Emma Woodhouse. I am clever, organised, and perfectly capable of managing the lives of others.
No.
Before you is the beginning of my story.
And several entirely avoidable disasters.
Do enjoy. Emma Woodhouse. Handsome, clever, and rich, blessed with magical talents and excellent taste, and until now, very little to trouble me. Except perhaps this morning. Miss Taylor is married. 16 years in our family. Friend, companion, governess. Little short of a mother in affection. And now Mrs. Weston. Very happily so. Mr. Weston is a man of excellent character, easy fortune, suitable age, and very pleasant manners.
Why, thank you.
They are an excellent match, but there is a great deal of difference between a Mrs. Weston half a mile away and a Miss Taylor in the house. Without Mrs. Weston, I am in danger of intellectual solitude. You see my difficulty. Fortunately, we have Mr. Knightley to call on us.
Mr. George Knightley. Gentleman. Landlord. Exceedingly rich, having excellent magical skills, and until now, very little to trouble me except when it comes to Emma.
Poor Miss Taylor. I wish she were here again. What a pity Mr. Weston never thought of her.
I cannot agree with you, Papa. Mr. Weston deserves a good wife. And surely you would not have Miss Taylor remain here forever, when she might have a house of her own?
A house of her own? Where is the advantage of a house of her own? This house is 3 times as large.
Mr. Knightley, it is very kind of you to call on us at this hour.
Indeed. I fear you have had a dreadful walk.
Not at all. It's a beautiful evening. Not an ogre or goblin in sight. But I have not yet wished you joy. Did the wedding go off tremendously well? Who cried most?
Poor Miss Taylor. A sad business.
On the contrary, we all behaved charmingly. Everybody was in their best looks. And hardly a tear to be seen.
And you are happy with your handiwork, I suppose?
Indeed I am. All they required was a bit of magic to encourage them along.
My dear Emma has a dangerous gift. Whatever she says or does always comes to pass. Emma, I wish you would not make any more love spells, or matches, or predictions.
I promise to make none for myself, Papa, but for other people, it is the greatest amusement in the world. And after such success, you know. Good morning, Mama.
Good morning, darling. I believe there is a letter downstairs for you.
I shall fetch it immediately, thank you.
Is it from Isabella?
No, Papa. It is from Mrs. Goddard. She wishes to introduce me to Miss Smith, the school's latest parlour boarder. I know her by sight, and I must admit it, I have long thought her rather interesting. She is said to be the natural daughter of somebody of consequence, though nobody seems to know whom. Is that not odd? And she is skilled in potions. I shall invite her to Hartfield.
It is very gratifying to hear of your studies, Harriet. Mrs. Goddard's School of Sorcery has an excellent reputation.
Yes, Miss Woodhouse. Are you acquainted with the Martins from Abbey Mill Farm?
Only in general. They are Mr. Knightley's tenants.
Mr. Martin is very clever. He understands everything. He once walked 3 miles just to bring me walnuts, because I had said how fond I am of them. His mother says no one could be a better son, and that he would make an excellent husband. Mr. Martin is a farmer. Yes, Miss Woodhouse.
A respectable young man, no doubt. But not, I think, the sort of person whom you ought to attach yourself.
Do you not think so?
Your birth may be uncertain, but that is all the more reason to be careful. There can be no doubt that you are a gentleman's daughter. You must not settle too quickly.
No, Miss Woodhouse. Come, we shall visit my dear friend, Mrs. Weston.
Harriet is pretty, grateful, romantic, and very much in need of guidance. Yes, she will do very well.
Very good, Miss Woodhouse.
Shall we perhaps conclude our practice for today?
Yes, thank you, Grayson. That will be all. I have much more pressing matters at hand. And Mr. Weston has received a most handsome letter from his son, Frank Churchill.
He is finally coming to Highbury.
Oh, I do so long to meet him.
Yes, Miss Woodhouse. It is Mr. Martin!
I trust you have been well.
Very well, thank you.
Just think of our happening to meet him!
Well, Miss Woodhouse, is he like what you expected?
He is very plain. I had no right to expect much, and indeed I did not expect much. But I must admit I had imagined him a degree or two nearer a gentleman.
To be sure, he is not a real gentleman.
Come, we shall call on Mrs. Weston.
Emma, Miss Smith, how lovely of you to call on me. Mr. Elton is here, in the parlour. I'll ring for tea.
Mr. Elton, may I introduce you to my friend, Miss Smith?
I am most delighted to make your acquaintance, Miss Smith. I have heard many wonderful things.
Thank you, Mr. Elton.
Mr. Elton is exactly the sort of person to drive that young farmer out of Harriet's head.
These are exquisite, Miss Woodhouse.
I dare say there is merit in them, in the least finished, perhaps the most. Harriet, have you ever had your likeness taken?
Oh, no, Miss Woodhouse. Never.
What a wonderful possession a good picture of her would be.
Yes, yes. You must paint Miss Smith. I cannot imagine anything more charming.
Well, if you give me such encouragement, Mr. Elton, I shall do my best.
Marvelous.
Harriet, you must sit still.
Now smile.
Would you be so kind as to fetch me some more water for my paints?
Of course. With great haste, Miss Woodhouse.
Mr. Elton is such a good-humoured and gentle man, and I believe he likes you very much.
I do not know what your opinion may be, Mrs. Weston, but I think this friendship between Emma and Miss Smith a bad thing.
How very differently we feel. They will read together.
practice their potions.
Emma has been meaning to read more ever since she was 12. She will never submit to anything requiring patience.
Oh, Mr. Knightley, you cannot be serious.
Indeed I am.
Miss Woodhouse, it is splendid.
Yes! Miss Woodhouse, your talents are beyond compare.
Why, thank you. I dare say Papa will want it framed.
Allow me! It would give me great pleasure to take it to London myself.
That would be very kind of you, Mr. Elton, would it not?
Oh yes, Miss Woodhouse.
This is not for you, Fitzhenry. Mr. Elton and Miss Smith are such an excellent match. And with a little assistance, everything will proceed exactly as I have planned.
Miss Woodhouse!
What is it, Harriet?
You will never believe what has happened. Robert Martin has asked for my hand.
Well, that is a surprise.
He writes as though he loves me very much. Is it not a good letter?
Yes, a good letter. So good, I think one of his sisters must have helped him write it.
Oh, Miss Woodhouse, what should I do?
You must answer the letter, of course.
Yes, but what shall I say?
I'm afraid the words must be your own, Harriet.
You think I ought to refuse him?
I lay it down as a general rule, my dear, that if a woman doubts as to whether she should accept a man or not, she certainly ought to refuse him.
Miss Woodhouse, I have quite determined and really almost made up my mind to refuse Mr. Martin.
You are doing just what you ought.
I have reason to think that Miss Smith will soon have an offer of marriage from Robert Martin. He is in love with her.
Mr. Martin is very obliging, but Harriet does not mean to marry him. He was refused.
Miss Smith refused Robert Martin?
I saw her answer. Nothing could be clearer.
You saw her answer? You mean you wrote her answer? Emma, this is your doing. You persuaded her. Whether by charm or your little enchantments.
And if I did, I should not think it wrong. Mr. Martin is respectable, certainly, but I cannot consider him Harriet's equal.
Not her equal? No. He is not her equal. He is greater in sense and in station.
There is no doubt her father is a gentleman, perhaps even a sorcerer, a man of fortune. Nothing has been denied her, in comfort or education.
Let her marry Robert Martin and she is safe. But teach her to expect more, and she may remain at Mrs. Goddard's school for the rest of her life.
We think very differently on this, Mr. Knightley.
As you make no secret of your love of potions and matchmaking, I shall tell you that if Mr. Elton is the man of your plans, it shall be all labour in vain. He knows that he is a great favourite wherever he goes. And I am convinced that he does not mean to throw himself away.
If I wish Mr. Elton to marry Miss Smith, I shall make it happen. But at present, I only wish to keep Harriet for myself. I do so wonder, Miss Woodhouse,
That you are not married.
I have none of the incentives of marriage. Fortune I do not want, employment I do not want, consequence I do not want.
Do you know Miss Bates' niece? Jane Fairfax.
Oh, yes. We are always required to be acquainted whenever she descends upon Highbury. One grows quite tired of the name Jane Fairfax. Every letter is read aloud, 4, 5, 10 times over. And if she so much as knits a pair of garters or masters the simplest potion, one hears of nothing else for a month.
The next person who mentions Jane Fairfax, I may very well turn them into a frog. You must go. Tomorrow. Tea? Yes, Miss Woodhouse.
Mr. Knightley!
Emma, are you harmed?
Harmed? Why on earth would I be harmed? It is no more than a vexing little orc.
Come, my dear Emma, let us be friends again. Let us put the business of Robert Martin behind us.
Indeed. As far as good intentions go, we were both in the right. Though I cannot say I have yet been proven wrong. Tell me, was Mr. Martin very much disappointed?
A man could not be more so.
Did I mention I encountered a brief acquaintance today?
While in London,
And who might that be?
Jane Fairfax.
How lovely.
The next person who mentions Jane Fairfax, I may very well turn them into a frog.
Tempting. Truly tempting. Harriet! What is the matter?
I am ill.
Oh dear.
I will be fine, but I will miss the opera and Mr. Elton.
You must rest. I will make your apologies to the rest of the party, including Mr. Elton.
Thank you, Miss Woodhouse.
Yes, I am afraid she will miss the opera this evening.
A sad loss to our party. Thank you. It is a letter from my son.
A letter from Frank Churchill. Is he not expected this evening?
Yes, but he has been detained. His visits are entirely dependent upon his aunt's spirits.
How so?
Mrs. Churchill rules the estate and is a very odd-tempered woman. Frank's coming depends on her willingness to spare him.
He ought to come.
There is jealousy, even of Frank's regard for his father.
But I have heard she is so fond of her nephew. He is her particular favourite.
My dearest Emma, do not pretend with your sweet temper to understand a bad one. You must let it go its own way.
He might have come if he wished.
I do not know why you should say so. He wishes exceedingly to come, but could not be spared.
If Frank Churchill wanted to come, he would have contrived it.
You are the worst judge in the world of dependence. You do not know what it is to manage others.
There is one thing a man can always do. His duty.
You are determined to think ill of him.
Not at all. I simply hear of no merit beyond pleasant manners and a handsome face.
Then he shall be a treasure in Highbury.
You will excuse my being so much overpowered.
Would you be so kind as to see that my father gets home safely? I should like to ride with Mrs. Weston.
Of course.
No, if we take the high road, it shall be much faster.
With all due respect, sir, we will get there faster if we go by Watkins Glen.
If you say so. Perhaps if we went around the creek.
Mrs. Weston! Now what am I to do?
Miss Woodhouse, allow me to escort you home.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Elton.
Miss Woodhouse, I must seize this precious opportunity to declare my sentiments. I am ready to die if you refuse me.
Mr. Elton, you have had too much wine. You mistake me for my friend. Any message to Miss Smith I shall be happy to deliver.
Miss Smith? I never thought of Miss Smith in the whole of my existence. Never paid her any attention, but as your friend... Oh, Miss Woodhouse, who could think of Miss Smith when Miss Woodhouse is near? Charming Miss Woodhouse. Allow me to interpret this interesting silence. It confesses you have long understood me.
It confesses no such thing. Your attentions to Harriet have pleased me greatly, and I have wished you much success.
Miss Smith is a very good sort of girl, but everyone has their level. My visits to Hartfield have been for yourself only, and the encouragement I receive.
Encouragement? I give you encouragement? You have been entirely mistaken. I have seen you only as someone interested in my friend. I assure you I have no thoughts of marriage at present.
That is most regrettable. I must take my leave of you.
Well, that escalated rather quickly.
It gets worse.
Better, much better. Episode 5 awaits.
If you subscribe now, perhaps we may prevent Emma from further meddling.